we're gonna make fire cider today. Fire cider is a very old sort of folk remedy that I think every herbalist has a little different recipe, but it's been around for a long time. And yeah, it's a great remedy for cold and flu season. Stimulates the immune system, lots of antimicrobial, antibacterial herbs and foods in this one, and it tastes delicious. So let's start making some fire cider. Fire cider usually as a base has onion, ginger, garlic. You can also put in horseradish, which is a root. And frankly, using horseradish, we'll start grating it up a little bit, is medicine in and of itself. If you're congested, it will clear you right out. Very pungent, great for breaking up mucus in the lungs and stimulating the immune system. So this preparation is using vinegar as a menstruum. So the vinegar, the apple cider vinegar, is a living food if you get unpasteurized raw apple cider vinegar. Oh, now my eyes are watering. A lot of great health benefits on its own, but we use it to extract medicinal properties from herbs and use that as a medicine. So like instead of using an alcohol, vinegar is a great alternative. And also this is, you're using food as medicine. So we'll start with our horseradish. We're gonna layer our ingredients into this jar. Put in the grated horseradish. At our house, we make gallons of cider vinegar in the winter. At this point in time, my children will ask for it because they've been using it. We've been using it for several years. And you can make it more spicy or less spicy. Usually, the way that I control that is by the amount of hot pepper that you put in. The horseradish is a little bit spicy, but because it's going to steep for at least a month, the vinegar will help mellow that out a little bit. And you end up with a really tasty vinegar and honey. You put honey in it as well. So you end up with a really tasty honey and vinegar that you can drink straight or dilute in a little water. It also makes a really delicious salad dressing. So that was grated ginger. Now I'm going to grate some turmeric. Everybody knows about turmeric. It's a great anti-inflammatory. Most people are familiar with the powder, but you can go to most grocery stores now and find the fresh. It's a rhinestone, that characteristic, really beautiful, bright orange color. You'll notice that I didn't peel anything, and the reason that I don't peel is because it's less work, and we're not going to actually eat what's in here anyway. We're going to strain it out. So I just save myself some time and effort. Now we're going to put in some garlic. I feel like everybody knows about garlic too. Garlic is delicious. And garlic also has great antimicrobial properties. So all of these plants together, and just rough chop the garlic, it doesn't need to be super fine, stimulate the immune system and support you. So you can take this as a tonic. It's mild enough that you could take a little bit every day all winter to help you fight off whatever germs happen to be floating around at the moment up here in Vermont. It's a long season of colds and flus. So you can take it every day as a tonic, or if you have a cold or an illness and you feel like your immune system needs a boost, you can take more frequently. I would recommend doing maybe 4 tablespoons a day. But the nice thing about fire cider is you're not going to overdo it, because again, these are all food items. So you're not going to overdose on onions and garlic and horseradish. So now we'll put in some onion. Again, just a rough chop. Leave the peel on. Save yourself some time. Speaking of thyme, we're going to put some of that in as well. A lot of us think of thyme as a culinary herb, and it is a culinary herb. It's delicious, but it's also a really potent antimicrobial. So I got some of this out of my garden this morning, as well as oregano. Oregano is another really strong antimicrobial, so we'll throw some of that in too. What are we missing? I don't always do this, but sometimes I put in astragalus, which is an adaptogen. Also really great, stimulate the immune system, so we'll put in a couple sticks of that. Put in some lime. You can put in any citrus that you want. I picked lime today because I figured there was enough sort of beige colors in here. A little more color. But I've done it with grapefruit, I've done it with blood oranges, I've used lemons, so. And then lastly, we're going to do hot peppers. So these are hot peppers that I grew and dried from my garden. You want to be careful when you're dealing with hot peppers because the seeds are the spicy part. And again, on your fingers, you definitely don't want to touch your eyes. I'm just going to break these up a little bit. I can feel it on my fingers, the spiciness from the seeds. I think I'll put 3 in today. Like I said, if I were going to be serving this to young children, I might put 1 in, I might put none in. Another way that you can control the heat when you're using spicy peppers is taking some of the seeds out and just having less seeds in there so that it will not feel as spicy when you're drinking it. All right, so this is beautiful. We've got all the layers here, all our ingredients. And now there's 2 ways you can do this. So I could just pour in straight vinegar and then let it set for 4 weeks. And at the end of 4 weeks, strain all of the marc off. That's what gets left behind, and you just have your vinegar that's infused. And then add honey to that, which is what we often do at our house, actually. Or the other way you can do it is you can do half, well, I'm going to say 2/3. 2/3 vinegar, and then 1/3 of honey, and let it all macerate together. And I think I'm going to try that one today. I've done it both ways. I think it just comes down to personal preference, really. So again, this is unpasteurized apple cider vinegar. We've got a lot of great local suppliers in Vermont. You can see wherever you are if you've got local sources for that. If not, Bragg's is a great alternative as well. And then I've got this raw honey from a local beekeeper here. And it was solid, so I put it in a very low heat water bath just to liquefy it, but the water never boiled, the honey never boiled. You don't want to lose all the good vitamins and nutrients from the raw honey. Just get it smooth enough so that you can work with it. So then I'm going to top it off with the honey that I'm dripping. And then you can use a chopstick. Look at this little honey stick. And really what I'm doing now is just trying to get out air bubbles, so you don't want any opportunity for bacterial growth, which is unlikely with all of these antibacterials on here, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm going to stir that up, make sure everything is touching the vinegar and the honey. I'm going to top it off with a little bit more vinegar here. And I'm going to put a lid on it. And then you want to label it. It's really important to label. Don't lie to yourself and say you'll remember. You probably won't. So I'm gonna label the date that I made it and the ingredients that I put, and then I'm gonna let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks, and at the end of 4 to 6 weeks, I will strain off the liquid and compost what's left behind in the solids, and I will have this fire cider ready for flu and cold season this fall. Thanks.